All right, we are up.
We're up? Okay, cool. Hey guys, so this is John, or Virde.
This is Hertz Donut or Dan.
Yep, in the casting booth, and then we're also joined by our league very own. We have Jedi
Richard.
Ninja,
or Richard.
Or Richard, and finally
Eric here, Necro Havoc.
also known as Necker Havoc. So they're going to be helping us out and running the show. So we've got some cool games tonight. Our first game will be Cassity versus Mainge.
Yep, and they're up.
So we are jumping into that right now. Cassity is, so Mainge is on team rank 5. He's the second seed on that team. And that's a powerhouse in the league right now. Cassity also a second seed for Noob Central, both of which are league veterans and very good players. So we're jumping into this game. Right off the bat, we see that Cassidy's bringing Patron Warrior.
Patron Warrior, yeah, up against a classic mech shaman.
Classic mech shaman. So, Dan, what do you think here?
I do not like the chances of the mech shaman in this case.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, especially since he's got a Fire War Axe in hand now, so the mech warper isn't going to get a lot of value. Plus, just looking at the hand that Mainge has, he doesn't have... mech shaman's probably... It's one of the most conditional decks as far as how well it does is determined by your starting hand, I feel like.
Right. Unlike Patron, which can draw, or Patron, or a lot of the combo decks.
The combo decks that just
draw.
The early game's all about moving.
And we see a brawl in Cassidy's Patron deck. That's an interesting addition. What do you think? What do you think about that? You think that's specifically for this matchup, or maybe for?
I honestly don't know. I'm not sure. So what is he up against here?
Yeah,
Mainge is Warrior, Warlock, and Hunter. I honestly don't know where that would come in.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, as a patron, when you've got 5 mana to just sort of spare
throw around, yeah.
Not develop board at all.
That being said, Cassity is a Golden Warrior, and I know he's been playing a lot of patrons, so I guess he's got ideas in mind for that brawl. We can see Mainge, as Dan threw out, Mainge is suffering what happens all too often with the mech.
Oh, the brawl might be for handlock.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. That would actually make really, really good sense.
Especially since, if as a handlock, when I'm against patron, I know that I'm more likely to be a little more brash about throwing down all my giants and things like that.
Right. Yeah, that's
made to fit.
That's an interesting tech then. And so the shaman having a bit of a slow start for what the deck is capable of having.
Absolutely.
You know, we see the double Fire Elemental, the Fel Reaver, and just not. I mean, he's got the second Mech Warper, is definitely a good pickup, but
I mean, it would have to. I don't. It wouldn't do anything for next turn.
We see
the only 5-drop or 6-drop. I don't know if there's any 6-drop mechs.
Right. I will say he, while he's having, like Cassity, he's having a hard time. Cassity doesn't have the greatest hand, and he's got no draw. I mean, he has 2 combo pieces, I guess. He really is looking for, some Battle Rage or, an Acolyte or something. He does have that Execute, which will be really nice to make that Fel Reaver completely benign.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm curious to see what happens to the Fel Reaver here, because he could also, if the Reaver comes down too late in the game against a patron, you could just, it could just mill your entire deck.
Right. I know the pros play the Reavers. I have the hardest time, like, buying the Reavers. I have a hard time putting them in my decks. I find it's just hard to believe that's like a really good card, but when those things hit you in the face on turn 6, that'll.
I think but I think it's important that they hit you in the face on turn 6 after they've already run out of steam a little bit, trying to take care of your Zap-O-Matic and your Pilot Shredder and all the things that Mainge wasn't able to pull here.
Sure. So here comes the turn 5 Fel Reaver. Cassity will have the execute. I would expect him to try to mill a little bit. He does it, which is probably a misplay. I would probably have Death Play it first and gotten the extra 3 cards, and
I would have as well, unless he's just planning to hero power here.
Right, I think he realizes
that he just wants to hero power now.
Yeah.
If I was in this situation, I would just hero power purely so that everyone thought it was my plan all along.
Yep, that's what's more important here. We saw, what do we see? We saw an Annoytron, a Crackle, and one other thing get milled. I wasn't paying too much attention. Oh, there we go. It's a Power Mace, Annoytron, and a Crackle.
Power
Mace.
So Power Mace, you don't want to see that. That's a bummer to lose that.
Yeah, I think the Annoytron's not too bad. Crackle is
asset.
probably mid-level 1. This Fire Elemental is going to come down, and this is actually, I guess he has the Despite response, and he's got a lot of armor. Man, he is not feeling any pressure from this mech maze. So yeah, we're gonna see the Despite come down, and that'll take out this Fire Elemental. However, it'll leave no board for Cassity.
But he still has the weapon up, so you can't safely drop the Zep-O-Matic.
Right. Ooh, that's a great
elementals
pickup.
There.
That could block the. That could protect the Zep-O-Matic, the Whirling Zep-O-Matic. I'd expect to see that, and the healing totem is actually really good too. Wow, this is actually a little bit of pressure. Mange finally finding some answers. Although there's double Fraudding.
Maybe a little Brawling coming.
You think a Fraudding might be dropped?
No, I think a Brawl might be incoming.
Nope.
Because what I can't imagine another situation you'd be in. So if he wants to go ahead and go for it, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I don't blow
the Whirlwind.
Yeah.
I mean, he clears the entire board. He's gonna do a ton of damage. He's gonna do, what is that? That's 12 damage, I think. But I mean, I guess that seems fine. I mean, he seems so far ahead, and he really doesn't have many plays in his hand. It looks like we'll just see probably
Earthshock Fire Alley for sure, right?
Yeah, I'd expect
I can't
that.
do anything else, yeah.
Or he could even use. Yeah, I guess Earthshock's fine. So there's the board. Mange fighting back for the board. He did take, 12 right to the face. But Cassity just not really able to get those big draw combos off with Battle Rage or Acolytes. I mean, he needs to get some momentum going for this patron. He has no patrons in hand, which is an issue. And he's used 2 Whirlwind effects. So while, it may look kind of bad for Mange with that slow start and the low health, this could still go in his way.
The question is right here, would you Battle Rage?
I probably would, but I'm not a very good patron player, to be completely honest.
This is not an ideal situation to be in for him.
I think you have to. There's no...
I think you have to as well.
I think he's thinking about it. I think he's also considering how good is Harrison right now. Like, how good is Harrison in this matchup? He's already seen a Power Mace gone. Oh.
Yeah.
The answer is real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mange is about to just get absolutely trucked. Because there's no way you're passing up on this Power Mace play. There's just no way. If Mange passes up on this, he's literally better than Strife Crow. Like, I'm saying it right now. He's the best player in the world.
If he plays the Power Mace first, he might be a champion. Yeah,
Mange is really good. I'm so impressed with this play. He's fishing for the Harrison. Cassity doesn't know if... Cassity has nothing to do, so I would be shocked if Harrison just dropped. Gnomish is a really good pickup, though. Extremely
Gnomish Harrison seems like an extremely strong play. Oh!
That's the law.
And Mange is about to be so happy. Gosh.
The only way that could have been better is if he had a mech on board.
Right. But worth
girl.
noting, Cassity picked up 2 extremely important cards.
There's your mech.
Bummer.
Yeah, there's the ideal mech coming out too late. So now, Mange, you have to use the Doom Hammer just to be like, yo, I have a Doom Hammer. Like, you have to at this point.
Oh, that's a great pickup.
It is a great pickup. I think you were going to see, what do you think, the Crackle on Harrison, and then the Fire Ellie on the Gnomish?
I think so. I think you need to wipe the board out.
Man, my Crackles always roll 3. They always roll 3. And it's devastating. Absolutely devastating if this rolls 3.
What to do?
So Mange might not go Doomhammer.
Might not do it. Or he might not Doomhammer. One of the two. Where's he gonna say hello? Oh, he's just gonna go for it.
So
oh, he's gonna take face damage.
Play, and that's a lot of face damage. That is a lot of face damage. Did he do the math? Oh, he has next turn lethal. Okay. He did the math. Okay. So, but Cassity picks up Unstable Gold. That is an enormous pickup. And that is, I believe, lethal.
I can't imagine that not being 10 mana with...
Let's do it. Let's do it here. It'll be 3, and then 4... I don't know. I think that's lethal. It's so hard to calculate. It's got to be lethal. It is. It's got to be lethal.
Well, I guess he can't get the frothing down as well, and he doesn't have any board. He has the unstable.
I was gonna go for the frothing. If you go Warsong, frothing.
Oh, it's absolutely lethal if you drop the Warsong and the frothing in the ghoul.
Unstable. Yeah, I believe this is lethal, but you know, doing the math is just way too hard. Let's let Cass worry about that. This is what you get when you get, you know, you pay the big money for the big castle. Oh, he's going for the Patron.
Maybe he did the math better than us, but that would have been... No, that would have been lethal.
That's definitely not lethal. I mean,
I think it was, but with
still,
frothing, I think it would have been 12.
Extremely good. Fel Reaver's a dead card, and you know what?
Actually, this is not so bad. You can just...
Yeah, he's going to kill this Warsong, and then there'll be no way to get the frothings going.
And that Fel Reaver is just a huge... Yeah, so now that Brawl might do some really serious work.
Yeah, but, I don't know, this is coming down to the wire, and I think... I don't know, Cassity may have calculated lethal, but the fact of the matter is, there's no more charge for Patron, and that's a huge deal. And I think Mange has next turn lethal easily. He easily does if this Brawl misses, and that's the only option for Cassity.
But there's a 66% chance, repeating of course, that the Fel Reaver is going to die here.
So would you have Battle Rage first there? So now the Battle Rage for the execute.
Execute.
It's not execute. There's no draw. That's game. And Cassity doesn't quite know it. He thinks he's one off. So he's gonna go up to 3. But actually, if this is for 3,
he's fine.
He's one off. He's one off. This is 15. For 3.
12, 15. Right? No. Math is hard, but...
it is 15. Okay, yes. Again, you know.
Blood.
Wow, so an incredible win by Mange. I don't know. I'd have to see a screenshot. I believe that frothing may have been lethal,
but then frothing would have been a lethal play on that.
He was at 11, and there were 6.
We started at 2. There would have been 8 guys on the board, 8 minions on the board. So the ghoul would have been damaged, and then damaged everyone else.
Right.
That would have been an extra...
I don't know. It might have been 10. It might have been 10 damage.
Might have been 10.
Because the Gnomish Inventor hits for 1, so that's 1 damage. And then there would have been...
No, the Gnomish Inventor would have had to hit the taunt.
Right, exactly. And then the Unstable Ghoul hits the Whirling Zap-O-Matic. And so that's 2 damage, and then they all do to 8. So it might have been 10. He might have been one off. It's really hard to look at it retrospectively. Either way, that was a really, really good game. Played well by both players. And game 1 is in the books. And that goes to Mange with the Mech Shaman. Even despite the really slow start, Mange able to
through what is possibly the most heads-up play I think I've ever seen in Hearthstone.
He was able to
playing the Power Mace over the Doomhammer.
Yeah, that was an extremely well...
Even without a Mange, a mech out there. which actually might have even made it better because then it's a more appealing Harrison target.
Right. Yeah, it was that was a very impressive play, very good play by both of them. So we are gonna jump into game 2 soon.
Yep. Cassity is restarting his client, so.
Oh, okay.
Should be
Yeah,
connected.
he had some. He seems to have some issues with that. That's fine. Let's go over their classes again. We've got Cassity. Oh, sorry.
The classes that I sent
classes
you, I
look
think those are
switched.
backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I can just read them off really quick then from the site. Mange has the Hunter, Paladin, Shaman. He's got the Shaman out of the way, so he's got Hunter and Paladin left. Very interesting brings, by the way. No Warrior, no Warlock.
So that makes a lot more sense now. Why Cassity brought the Brawl? Because that
right. Because
could work
now
out
the
real well.
Shaman, right? The Shaman and the Paladin are very Brawl. Susceptible. Okay, and then Cassity has the Warlock, Warrior, and Hunter. We saw the Patron Warrior already. And yeah, we've yet to see the Warlock. So actually, I think I need to leave spectator mode. So yeah, that's interesting. As I was saying, it's interesting that Mange is bringing Shaman and Paladin. Both are very underrepresented classes. So Mange moves into Hunter, and Cassity moves into back into
Back to
Patron.
the Patron.
So who do you like here, Dan?
Patron. All day.
Yeah, I think
time.
Patron does very well against Hunter, but the mid-range Hunter, a mid-range Hunter with long legs could outlast the Patron. I mean, it could just constantly.
Honestly, I think the mid range is
worse.
arguably easier.
Oh, really?
Patron.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Because I don't know, I just feel like there's more of an opportunity to leverage your snake traps, or
Right,
leverage the
sure.
snake traps for the
Sure.
patrons. You can, what was I trying to say? Your weapons feel more useful because they can get more value out of
Right.
the larger minions that they
The
take out.
elites,
You aren't just
sure.
whacking tiny spiders all day.
Sure. So we see Cassity with a much better hand and Mange with a much better hand this time. So both of these are games are going to go a lot more, typical for these classes. What was I going to... Oh, so just looking at the mulligan from Mange's hand, we saw a Shredder and we saw a Quick Shot. So Shredder implies that obviously it's not Face Hunter. And
So
we
does the
also see
freezing
the
trap.
freezing trap, right? And there's a Savannah High Main, so it looks like it could be mid-range. It could also be hybrid. These are all hybrid cards. I think if we see a charge minion, we'll know it's hybrid. If we don't, we see something slower, it'll look like it's mid-range. So Mange with the Knife Juggler immediately gets slammed. Very dangerous, especially with the Hunter Creeper out. And that's a Fel Reaver, so I don't know what this deck is. I have absolutely no idea what this
Mange
deck
is crazy.
Mange is insane. Mange also got a really nice 8 damage from a Fel Reaver last game, so that's...
You think he's got 2 Fel Reavers in this one? Because the Execute's looking at this one.
Yeah, the Execute's about to eat that up. The thing is, Cassity doesn't really know what this Hunter is, and if Mange is, Mange might throw out maybe a Shredder or something that'll eat that Execute. If Cassidy's, because Cassity, the Fel Reavers are very standard in Mech Shaman, but obviously I don't know if I've ever seen a Fel Reaver in a Hunter. So,
How do you feel about hitting face on that? Or not hitting face on that one? That seems strange.
yeah, the death rattle sequence would.
You still would have killed them because
Right. You could have just hit it next turn. I guess he's trying to save it for. I'm not entirely sure. This is interesting though. He's gonna put this trap up, and if Cassity wants to see if it's snakes, he's gonna have to attack a minion. I think Cassidy's probably actually it's kind of a tough situation. Also, seeing the Leper Gnome means this is definitely much more aggro. Obviously, the Fel Reaver also indicates aggro. A couple things that are worth noting here is, like, if Cassity uses his charge, he's going to want to optimize it, so he's going to want to play the Acolyte or even potentially the Grim Patron, which is a common play. All right, so he's going to use the Acolyte. And I'd love, you know, if he uses his Cruel Taskmaster here, he's going to lose his execute trigger, which is going to be enormous. Oh, well, there's the slam, so I guess it doesn't matter. I like this play.
You can also just run the Taskmaster in. That's not the end of the world.
Well, okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense because there's the freezing. So yeah, it's gonna. I guess there's a lot of different ways that it could work.
But yeah, so he doesn't know he's got the. That's a fine play if not for the
slam. Yeah. Mainge defending it pretty well. The slam is going to really be good. It's going to be 2 cards here. And let's see if Cassidy's able to mill more. I think last time he may have
Kill command. Oof.
So not dropping the Armor Smith on the unstable gold before executing is potentially a problem, you know, an issue. And I think he's... Oh, wow, he's dropping the father. Okay, so a lot milled, although it is turn 6, and here comes the high main, and there is very little response for it. I guess the unstable goal. This frothing, though, is also a very dangerous creature to leave just sitting around.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's watching that kill command go away is not ideal.
Of sorts, right. So Cassidy's hand is a lot better, or much better than last game. He's got a lot more options.
I think he's made the trade.
Yeah, he's going for the unstable portal. We saw the owl get milled, so it's pretty it's looking pretty
and
rough.
He also saw the other eagle horn get milled. Wow, that's a great pull.
It is a great pull. So what do you do here? So I guess you kill the patron, right? You killed the patron. You could unleash as well.
I think you have to, because you need to get to all of them. That is not what I would do.
Oh, he's gonna unleash and then use the Blazezuka. Okay, Blazezuka. Oh, he's got.
He doesn't have the mana for that. He's
oh, okay. Unleash and then Sergeant. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Kill. All right. So then you kill the frothing with the 3. Okay. Wait. What?
Bummer.
Didn't I hit the mark?
Ooh.
Yeah, that did not quite work
quite
out. And now Cassidy's about to just go nuts with these patrons.
Yeah, this is rough.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the war songs yet, and so they're not immediate threats. But this Armor Smith is actually, you know, what's funny is.
But I mean, he's gonna wipe the whole board here, no problem, and have an entire full board. And
right, and he's gonna get a ton of armor.
Came. It's over.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's no coming back from that for Mainge. The misplay wasn't actually that. I mean, it was a misplay, absolutely, but it wasn't that enormous if we really think about it.
It was the difference between wiping the whole board and having a patron left, though. 2 patrons.
Right. What he valued his high main. I would have traded my high main into one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that is ostensibly game 2.
That's gotta be.
There's just no coming back from this, and that is certainly not the way to come back.
That's not gonna do it. Yeah.
So he's got. Does he have?
Well, he's a hunter, so he can still do 4 damage to the face. Just that
right. So Mainge is just going full on damage. The problem is this Armor Smith is just way too threatening with this.
Yeah,
board.
and the creeper. I don't know if that. Not that it matters, but the creeper's like the worst possible thing to put out. Is he gonna BM it? I guess it's not a BM. He doesn't have.
Oh, there's no
yet,
lethal.
So.
Yeah, he's not quite at lethal yet. He needs a Warsong commander for lethal, I think.
I think yeah, you break open a few more patrons.
Yeah, and this is just gonna make and then he's got the whirlwind effect, so he can just make an absurd amount of armor.
That was interesting.
I guess he's. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well there is the frothing, but no
Hey, just do another one. Who cares?
war song. Right. And he...
Instead of ET, interesting.
Alright, so I think he's gonna battle rage again, but the
I
problem...
think he's gonna mill himself if he does. Not that it really matters.
3, 6, 7...
You can even play another patron.
I mean, at this point...
Alright, at this, yeah, seriously.
And Mainge is sitting there, like, watching...
Sitting there waiting. Ugh.
Well played.
Yeah.
So Mainge is on it. So a tough game. The Warrior was looking like pretty good shape the whole time. The big play really was executing the Fel Reaver. Having that execute is just so big.
Yeah, the Fel Reaver's quite the little tech. I've never seen that before. I wonder if that's paid off or if that was just a hunch.
I think we can say in the first game it paid off, and that game.
Well, the first game, I mean, but that's just that's a common include
Right.
Yeah.
Mech Shaman, but in face hunt, mid-range hunter, it is not.
Yeah, and it's actually a huge information tell for Mainge. You know, like
Absolutely.
now if I'm Cassity, I'm gonna be holding my removal a lot more, you know, much more precious than most people. So here's the hunter mirror match, and this will be really interesting. So I'm very interested in this game because
Looks like
you know
those.
yeah, usually those Fel Reavers can make a race to the finish a really short
But since
race.
they're both, if they're both mid-range, that means it's a pretty good chance that Cassidy's got a hunter's mark,
freezing or hunter's mark, okay.
and that'll really.
Well, it could be hybrid, and it is hybrid.
It is. Yep.
Hybrid seems to be the deck of choice in all the pro tournaments, and clearly in THL where we have quite a lot of pros as well.
Absolutely.
It seems to be really what. So Cassidy looks like without he does pat. Oh, okay, sorry, Cassidy has turn 2. Okay, I was wondering if I think he's gonna play this Abyssa Sergeant right off the bat, and I'm very much in favor of this play. It basically stops Knife Juggler from going down. Obviously, we can see Mainge's hand. So he's going to coin the Knife Juggler. Maybe? I think he's thinking about it. He is going to coin the Knife Juggler.
Do you Glazuka?
Put this apple on your head.
Yeah, I mean, playing...
I think you do.
Playing... I mean, if you start off like that, and you start immediately trading as Mainge, you're putting yourself on the back foot. And I don't know if I agree. This is the better play, as we can see the Glazuka and Cassidy's hand would have punished if he'd played the Knife Juggler himself. And now Cassidy has no really good 2-drop play at all, actually, because he coined. And now that's going to make a huge upper hand. So the Glazuka really worked out. Very.
Although he can't really play the Knife Juggler now. Oh, he can play the animal.
No, Animal Companion, yeah. And I mean, no matter what this is, a Huffer, I mean, that's 8 damage.
Properly.
If Cassidy he may quick shot it, but quick shotting it gives him no, it just gives him no health. Wow, is he just gonna go face here? Giving that extra mana is huge. I think we will see the Fel Reaver come down. That is enormous. So Mainge has the Unleash, which is really big to play around Freezing Trap. I would absolutely drop the Fel Reaver here. He does, and Cassidy is in trouble. That thing will end this game in like 2 turns if unanswered, and there is no answer.
He can do 6 damage at most.
Yep, and I think he's just realizing that this is a race to the finish, and he's giving Mainge a ton of mana. We see the milled cards, but generally they're not. I mean, they're not the biggest deal. In fact, seeing Haunted Creepers go are actually a good thing. Lothos pretty good too. So this game speed up really quickly. This Knife Juggler Unleash is absolutely going to happen, and Mainge is threatening a lot of damage here. So if these Juggles, especially if these Juggles hit,
It doesn't even matter.
well, he is actually really setting himself up for a Knife Juggler, and I like that he's trading. I actually really like
Absolutely.
really smart play. He had easy next turn lethal. Does Cassity have any way to stop this? No.
No.
So this is why you put Fel Reaver in your Hunter deck, folks. I guess it paid off, and that is just crushing. Fel Reaver has got to be one of the most interesting and controversial cards in Hearthstone. I am one of the morons who doesn't appreciate it. Like,
yeah, I read it once when before GVG even came out, and immediately wrote it off.
Yeah, I mean, the milling aspect is just such a hard thing to do, but when you're playing an aggro deck like Hunter, you're never going to go through your entire deck. I mean, you kill them in 6 or 7 turns. It's just not going to happen. So Cassity has 0 way out. There's no way to even draw with the quick shot. There's no lethal, so that's game. And he can do at most 6 damage here. And I guess he's just going to mill the entire deck, which is kind of funny. Oh wait, did I didn't. No, there's no way.
It's still lethal.
Yeah, there's no way that he can get
still
out because of the left Yeah. And we also
And just because of the abuse with the hero power.
But even from Cassidy's perspective.
Well played.
So Fel Reaver MVP of Game 3. Mainge on a roll with it, and I'm sure we'll probably just see a Paladin
Fel Reaver.
You know, I mean, why not, right?
Why not?
Aldor your own Fel Reaver, and I guess you can't Aldor yourself. Alright, so Mainge jumps up to a 2-1 lead. Both games, Fel Reaver putting in work. And so he just has Paladin left, and these games are going fairly quickly. And we know from Cassity has Warlock and Hunter left. So if you're going up against Paladin, what are you thinking, Dan? What do you want, Warlock or you want Hunter?
I would probably bring Warlock just because I'm more comfortable with it.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not sure what he's.
It's tough. I mean, you don't know if it's aggro Paladin. You've seen 2 aggro decks in a row, so I mean, Cassity agrees with you. And
would you bring?
It's mid range, or maybe even control. It's hard to tell. And Cassidy's bringing Zoo.
That's fair.
So, and it looks like a very aggressive Zoo, actually, with the Argent Squire. Rich, what do you... I mean, do you think, in the current meta, the Paladin is favored in this matchup?
I think it can really depend on drawing Consecration.
Okay.
Right. Zoo can get out of hand pretty quickly, and if you don't have Consecration, there's not much you can do to catch back up.
Right.
And it's got to show up at the right time, too, because if you start with it in your hand, then it's a play that you just have to make, I think, often too early.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there on turn 4 or 5, and you're screwed if you don't play it. But then turn 7, you really wish you had it.
Yeah, and a lot of times you have to bite the bullet and hop a Nerubian egg with it.
Right. Yep. And we see it's interesting, and I just want to point this out really quick. They may both be doing next level plays. We're not showing their mulligan as a Warlock, and I think that's what they did. Cassidy let the timer run down on his mulligan, not wanting to show his hand. And that's a way to disguise if you're Zoo or
It looks like Mainge was really expecting handlock in his mulligan.
Yes. Well, to be fair, his opening hand was really bad. It was very, very bad. He had a bunch of 5-drops, so I think he might have just tried to get rid of everything.
Did he send it all back?
I think so.
I didn't see it, but he had the Quartermaster and the Peacekeeper, I think, in the initial hand. So maybe they just put it back up.
I'm not really sure.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. So I mean, this is gonna be interesting because I mean, there's a lot of different oh wow, we see Kazan. Really interesting deck from Mainge here. There's a lot of different Zoo variations, obviously, and the ones that run the Argent Squires are generally really very fast. And that's going to really be tough for Mainge to handle with this extremely slow hand. He's got just not much to do, and this Kazan is just painful.
I don't know that it was worth even playing her.
I mean, you lost the coin. I guess you're just trying to slow down the momentum. But I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I quit too soon, but this is just not looking good, and I don't know that the Kazan's enough to turn it around. And now he knows that it's there for when you play, because Cassidy's got the Hunter left, right?
Right, he does have the hunter left.
Many possibilities.
Huh, that's interesting. I mean, I think it's too soon to give up. You know, I think you want to throw stuff out. But
yeah.
I
but
completely agree.
I don't.
I do completely agree that it's really rough when you have to throw that out there. I don't think Mange is feeling too good about it either. What's really annoying is that, as you see, there's this Sea Giant. I mean, Dr. Boom's often played. Mal'Ganis is always played. These Warlock decks are very typically have tons of BGH targets, so you can't just throw out a tempo BGH or you'll just get absolutely slammed. This is just a nightmare for Mange. I mean, you're throwing away one of your best cards, and it does almost, I mean, literally only saves 3 damage. Oh my gosh. So Cassity is just gonna go for the gold right here. Actually, okay, so he's still trading, which I like a lot. This board is like not even weak to Consecrate, which he just top decked. I mean, Consecrate does nothing.
Doesn't even matter.
He has to BGH. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
he has to BGH here and just hero power, which is, I mean, honestly, it's okay.
Reporting for duty.
I hope he's got heal bots.
Second Doom Guard. Well, honestly, this started off extremely well for Cassity, and I'd still say he's got.
How do you feel about that play?
I would probably. I might have traded in the Void
I would have
Caller
traded
to get a Doom
that.
Guard out.
I think that's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean,
Because now you're just
Cassidy's trying to play around Consecrate. I agree that like getting Doom Guards out is really important, but
especially when you have 2 in your hand.
2 in your hand is so bad.
The only way around discarding probably the other one when you play one.
So the question here is, do you trade? And okay, so he goes with the trade. I think Cassidy's really respecting Consecrate. And now Mange has got the mana to like play some of these 5-drops. He can get the Sludge Belcher down. He can Consecrate. This Consecrate is, I guess it is saving 7, or what is that? 6 damage. 1, 2, 6 damage. So that's fair. Can't really fault him there. Cassity, ooh, Knife Juggler,
Apple on your head.
and the Imp Gang. So that's going to leave those Doom Guards to be pulled out. And it snipes it, so this is a lot of pressure. Double True Silver. These top decks are just killing Mange.
Too expensive.
I think he has to just Sludge Belcher here. And that should be lethal.
Reporting for duty.
I think. That's lethal. That's easily lethal. All you do here is you owl the Sludge Belcher, run in the Void Caller, and then you got double Doom Guard. So, or maybe you could do it without it. I don't.
Mange just drew none of his early.
Yeah, and that's really rough. I think his Paladin might have been more geared towards Handlock. It looks a lot more controlly.
It does, yeah.
I mean, but then again, like, I'm sure he runs double Muster for Battle. I'm sure he runs Knife Jugglers. I'm sure he runs mini bots. He might run Zombie Chow. So I'm sure Mange is very frustrated with that draw. As Dan astutely pointed out, now Cassity knows there's a Kazan, which honestly for a Hunter isn't that big of a deal against Paladin. In my opinion, I think Paladin actually plays around Freezing Trap better than any class, obviously because it's hero power.
Yeah, but if you're depending on your explosive trap to clear the board, although I guess you can muster or unleash.
And actually, it's a really fair point. We saw a lot of charge minions in Cassity, but we saw none of the hybrid. There was no hybrid minions played. So from Mange's perspective, he might think Cassidy's bringing a face hunter. And so that's a great point. He might actually really be scared of those secrets because he might expect explosive trap. So now we're looking at the mulligans. Really good mulligan for Cassity. Basically everything you want except the kill command. Mange is probably trying to consider if he wants to keep Consecration. Rich, would you keep Consecration in this case?
Yeah, I would definitely.
Okay.
Well,
Mange disagrees, but we'll see how nuts this gets.
I didn't see, yeah.
Big pickup though.
I didn't see what other cards he had in his hand. Depends. I mean, if you don't have anything better, you gotta get more aggressive to get the mini bot or a must.
Wow, so Cassity.
Wow.
just with the early game. No bad card here. The Zombie Chow is a huge pickup.
This is a pretty great opening hand on both sides.
This is going to be a really interesting. Mange will need healing because Cassidy's just going to continue to bring the thunder. But the Haunted Creeper actually isn't even that. I mean, this is interesting. So it may stop this knife juggler. I mean, I think Mange really wants the knife juggler down for the next turn muster.
Absolutely.
Obviously. But this might get punished by the knife juggler from Cassity.
How so? Oh.
Well, he can run the spider, and then it's what is that? 33 times 2 or something. I mean, it's like a 66% chance to die or something. Not popping the spider there might. Oh, that's definitely right.
Yeah, you got it.
The spider gives auto kill, so we're gonna see some. Oh, he opted for it, and now Mange is gonna have a huge counter swing with this muster coming down.
Ooh, yeah.
This is gonna get really, really ugly for Cassity now. So what do you do here? You pop the spider, right, and then you just muster and see what happens. Mm-hmm. I think that's got to be the play. I think
you pop
this
the spider
is where
with the knife juggler,
with the chow.
right? With the chow.
Oh, I guess you can do it with the knife juggler. Yeah, that's the safest.
Because then
one.
otherwise you're resigning the knife juggler to oblivion.
Right, and then you just need one knife to hit one of the spiders. Right. So I would pop it with the yeah. That's a much better call. I think this is where Mange might be a little scared of explosive trap. Wow. Is he he might really be I think he's scared of explosive trap.
I must move quickly.
So this is a play where he's really expecting explosive trap. It is freezing trap, and that is just
bummer.
A huge bummer. That's just rough.
I'd put the chow back down.
Back with the zombie chow. Oh my gosh. And so that was a huge...
I also don't... I guess the idea was that the chow would survive the explosive.
Right.
Man.
That's a huge bummer for Mange. So that beautiful, beautiful potential is gone. Of course, easy for us to say since we know the trap. And now I expect to see a shredder just drop on tempo. I would have used top deck one, but Okay, so we what are we doing here as Cassity? We've got a 1-drop and a 3-drop. We've got 2 2-drops. So there's
got 2 2-drops. One of which gives you a bunch of damage.
Yeah. So I would expect to see that happen, but if I'm Cassity here, I'd probably pop the shredder with my face and see what happens. Because that really affects a lot. If an explosive cheat comes out, he's going to be really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pop it first.
Just thinking.
Alright, so he opts to go with this. And this is... He has to pop it now. Wow, he's going full face. And that is really aggressive. I mean, that shredder is going to get great value now. Trading with the Misha.
Mm-hmm. It's a great time to muster as well.
Oh wow.
Ooh. No, it doesn't really do anything. Actually, you can play both of those.
Yeah, that actually does really affect it. All right, so Cassity is still got some awkward turns right now. He's really been holding on to this juggler. I guess he's really waiting for the muster and unleash. Like, I think he's saving for the juggler for unleash. If I were to try to figure it out. So this is going to be a low theb and more face damage. 3 more damage going in. And Mange has... Oh, Healbot is huge. Huge. It's going to play perfectly on curve with hero power. And he's just going to have to figure out his trades here. So
hopefully he plays it before he runs the summoner in. Right.
So he's going to see what he gets here. Not really doing much. No, I would say that's probably one of the...
No!
Yeah, that's a slight misplay. And that's going to cost him 1 man, or one recruit. I would say, though...
Unless he didn't care because of muster, or hounds.
He could be concerned about hounds, that's true. So now Cassidy's in a little bit of an arc. I mean, he's always kind of. So he's finally gonna drop the juggler because he realizes he's about to lose board. That doesn't really matter. I wonder if he's gonna trade the spider in. He will. Does it work out? One more juggle? It does incredibly work out for him. So Mainge has very few options here. It's basically Muster and Jedi. Would you double Muster here? Or no.
No, I wouldn't do that.
That's stupid. Okay. So he kills.
Nice. Pretty good value off the shredder drop though.
Oh
In
yeah.
the form of the
it's
Man
able
Addict.
to trade. Yeah, that's fair. So Mainge is just going in, not worried about Unleash, and Cassidy can't really punish it at all. In fact, Cassidy is really.
He's struggling because he's gonna want
Wow.
all of those
just
things
going
later.
For the draw. Oh.
Oh. Here comes Tyrion.
I actually, if I'm Mainge here, I'd probably lay on hands over Tyrion.
Lay on hands is definitely the more demoralizing of the two plays.
I would be doing it just because I'd be really looking hardcore for the quartermaster, but Mainge.
I like this because
Yeah, just
what are you
swag
gonna do?
out. What is he
What's the
gonna do?
plan? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's concede at this point.
The best you can do is owl.
I mean, Owl's extremely strong though.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sitting at 5 damage. Oh, the consecrate. I mean, it doesn't matter. Does it matter?
I would just lay on hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
another. Oh, look, a Harrison. Oh.
And Rich, who is a well-known Paladin player right now, is just sitting there, eating this up, eating the Paladin's
power.
Oh yeah.
the power.
Serving up some justice.
Traveler.
And we get a greeting
got
from
a Harrison.
Cassidy. Also,
You got a Harrison.
worth noting, Cassidy does have a Golden Hunter and a Golden Warrior. He's just...
He's a flashy gentleman.
He is a fancy lad. All right, well, it's not gonna. Oh wait, that's not lethal. I'm sorry, I'm like ready to wrap up. I guess
Play
the
Harrison. Yeah, send a message.
In a museum.
Oh my gosh, if you're Cassidy right now, you just feel so lonely.
It's exactly.
He's got
how
all his friends and all his legendaries sitting over there. And
He's
there's
got
the ones.
and that
Right on
means
time.
nothing.
17 cards in.
Well
And that's
fought.
rough. So Mainge is able to squeak it out over Cassidy, take the Q2 victory, and give Team Rank 5 a slight edge in their match against and Cassidy's on Noob Central. So they jump up a little bit in the Noob Central game. So that's game one. That was a really, really great game one. Some innovation and on some unexpected decks. You don't see Shaman, you don't see Paladin often. So Mainge getting it done. And that's, I guess the moral of the story really is just put Fel Reaver in every single deck that you have.
He did not, to his credit, it was not in the Paladin. It was not an aggro Paladin.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, fine.
That we saw. It would
that
not
we
have
saw.
made a lot of sense, though.
Right. All right. So, Rich, what do we have coming up?
We have coming up Espada and Kappa.
Okay, so we have Espada
The
and
Pigeon
Kappa.
and Singularity, and we're let's see, we may have a couple minutes break until we get these players ready to go.
Okay, so let's look at the teams these guys are coming from. So
Kappa looks like he's a little, potentially a little rusty, sitting at rank 20 right now.
Kappa's been playing.
He's had more important things to do.
Yeah, he's a little busy. But I think like some of these players, like for instance Mainge. I know Mainge and Cassity actually. I talked to them quite a lot, and they, Mainge sitting at rank 10. I think he's pretty confident in his Hearthstone skills. Not really worried about ladder. Letting TG.
Oh, I agree. I think as soon as rank is not important.
Yeah, although there is the reward system, so it's funny to watch Necro Havoc, you know, someone who is proud to sit at 18 all season and just beat up on noobs. It's funny to watch him, like, you know,
He's an inspiration to us
get his
all.
try-hard pants on and try to climb the ladder.
Do the rewards work? Is that this month or does that start next month?
It is this month. It is this month. It's big, a lot of hype. So make sure you guys all hit rank 5. That is where they kind of, to my understanding, they basically rank 5 and up doesn't really matter. It's slight dust increments, but not noticeable. So.
But rank 5
They only
is
start
a big drop.
recording. They only
What's
start
up, Eric?
recording. Yeah, they only start recording the rank when they launch TGT.
Oh, when they launched GGT. So yeah,
Yeah.